The business end of the season is getting closer in the Hume Footy League, and the president, Phil Bouffler, is handing out awards left, right and centre, and he joins us now. G'day, Phil. How are you?
Well, thank you, Wayne. Still pretty pumped about the medal count the other night, Wednesday night, so it was a great evening. Warmed up a bit in the Riverina, so no rain. Crops are sort of drying off a little bit, so yeah, I wouldn't mind a bit of rain, but looking for the weekend.
I haven't heard you say you wouldn't mind a bit of rain for about 2 years. So you must be really in need. But hey, look, there was reigning medals. The Asai medal, there was given Abraham Wooden from Lockhart. A big surprise. Well, for me anyway, because he's come from the club that hasn't made finals. He's come home with a wet sail and taken the pole with 28 votes. What a fantastic effort.
Great effort. So this is where consistency comes into the system. So he played well, polled well in a lot of games, had a few threes along the way, and just goes to be a great effort. So it was funny, they interviewed all the coaches in the paper, and even as a dark horse, I don't think he got a mention, but I'd seen Lockhart play 3 or 4 times this year, and he was their best player every time nearly, so he's a very good player, and certainly well-deserved. Connor Galvin, great player. I mean, his effort over the consistency, he would be one of the most consistent players I've ever seen in the Hume League. Year after year, he just keeps turning up and just playing very good football, so it's a credit to him.
Yeah, he's the Osborne star, and he in the last 3 counts has been in the top 3. It's just an amazing achievement. It just hasn't been able to crack a win for it. Jared Lane from Howlong with 23 votes, 5 behind the leader. Jack Duck from the Giants, another one that polled well, 22. And Heath Olland from the Henty, 21. What a performance from him. And then Eddie O'Connell from Osborne, an out-and-out star with his season. Rowan Heasley from CDHBU, both of them on 18. Ronald Bolton Saints, 15. Their best poller. Giants, Clay Thompson joined Jack Duck in the polling, and Raven Hadola from Holbrook was their biggest poller. I was surprised that Holbrook, a very consistent season. A lot of their players polled well, but no one right up in the top echelon. But a good effort in the reserves too. I did notice that the Osborne folk got going because Matthew Tullberg was up there with 24 votes, and Tully was. They gave him a bit of a rousing reception.
Yeah, they're pretty happy with that. So. He's the brother of the Lockhart president of all things, so he's spent a bit of time at Lockhart and spent a bit of time at Osborne, so he just said on the night he likes to play where his friends are, so good luck to them all. They travel around a bit these days, so he was a good winner, tie for second between Hayden Smith from Holbrook and Riley Stone from Howlong, so that was another close count really.
Beautiful count in the 18s or the under 16s. What are we? 17s. Yep, under 17s. The thirds. Dominic Korzeniowski from the Saints with 32. What a performance from the Brock Burren player. Lachlan Boyer, Osborne 26, and Alexander O'Connell, another one of those O'Connells from out of Osborne with 18, along with Tommy McGrath from Culcan, 18. Jordan Klemke, Henty, and Zach Klemke, the 2 Klemkes, 16 each. They couldn't separate the Klemkes.
Couldn't separate them, Wayne. How good's that? That was very good by young Dom, so he's a good football player, and they've got a good side there. The Brock Burren under 17s, they're playing some good footy, so they're going to be a real threat for the finals, for the grand final. They're a good team.
And the under-14s, another great effort in the O'Connell medal here for Levi Phipps from CDHBU, 27. Noah Mayer from Culcan, and also Chase French from Howlong, 24 apiece. Jack Lee from Osborne, 23. And Zakiel Cameron Panny from Henty, 23. Hayden Donahue, Lockhart, 21. And Tyler Leschke, another one of the Leschkes out of there of the Giants, out of Walla Walla with 21. And Hudson Smith from Lockhart, 17. Great effort from the kids there. All right. Last week, and Phil, it's been an incredible season, as we know. We've been talking about it, but what about Ramwell, Bundry, Walla? They have come from, some are saying from nowhere, but I think people closer in know just how good that they've been going in recent weeks. They've come out in the big one, and they have put themselves in. This is a magnificent performance from them. They got home over Brock Burren, 17-13 to 8-8.
Third time we've shifted a final away from Albundry, Wayne, and what a great effort it was by Holbrook. So hats off to Holbrook. Couldn't have gone better. They've did an excellent job, catering well. The facilities are unreal. Electronic scoreboards, you know something, and they ticked it off. So Anthony Churchill and all his team out there, it's a credit to you. So, and it's great that we can showcase these clubs because they do a lot of hard work out there at these clubs. as Howlong did previously in the Murray Magpies. So we're happy to showcase these things, but a little bit one-sided this game. So, yeah, it was just a great day. It really was.
It was, and also to the point where the Ramwell Bundry-Waller got the ball forward on numerous occasions. Jack Duck, who was high up in the middle, as we mentioned, was their best. Wardius kicks goals every week, so 5 from him. And in the end, the battle of the forwards, and we didn't see the talent boys do as well. And Bolton had to lead the way along with the Eights with just 2 apiece. I think the difference in the end that was Max Talent going into the midfield, having to do that role rather than the kicking of goals up forward resting. But a good effort from Osborne also on the Saturday to go into the grand final, beating Holbrook 14-9-93 to 4-9-33. This is a terrific performance at Walbundry. We know that they have been in finals football. Holbrook beat them in the grand final, and they had that memory of that. And they lost to Holbrook earlier in the season, Phil, but they came out hard and they won the game after a terrific performance.
They set it up in the first quarter, Wayne. They got the jump on Holbrook and never looked back. So 7-3, straight kicking as well. 2 points to Holbrook at quarter time. It makes it very hard to come back from there, Wayne. So it was a great effort by Osborne. They played well in the third quarter. Holbrook got themselves back in the game for a little bit of an extent, outscored Osborne, but then Osborne motored home in the last quarter. So a very clinical. Dan O'Connell, very good player, best on ground. It was a great effort. There was 4 or 5 Osborne players that could have got that. And, so a little bit disappointed at Holbrook about that.
I think they were. Guestia get their own multiple with 2, and then it was 4 to Jamie Parr. And what about Big George with 3? And Bailey Alexander and McGrory with a couple apiece, and Livingston, Douglas and McGrory, McAllister and Clancy got going for the Osborne boys with O'Connell, and Cooper Walsh, Raven Jolliffe and Luke Carman were okay. All right, there was some terrific games in other matches. The reserve grade, in the end, the semi-finals, Osborne got through in a cliffhanger over Holbrook 8-5 to 7-8, and it was Howlong beating Ginderus 7-7 to 6-5. Sets up a prelim final this weekend, which we'll get you to preview, and it is the reserve grade Holbrook playing Howlong, Phil, for the right to play Osborne in the grand final this week.
Good game. Holbrook let that, they were disappointed. They were pretty much the better side most of the day. Then Osborne just got over right at the end. So this would be a danger game for Holbrook. They've only got side Howlong. They played well during the year. So this could go either way, but I wouldn't be surprised if Howlong got up here.
All right, the semi-finals in the 17-year-old age group. Henty go into the grand final with a demolition of Howlong, 9-8-62 to 2-3-15. The red and whites were in command after the first quarter, and they went away with it brilliantly in the third to beat Howlong in a terrific match. The other match did see the Osborne side go down, which was a bit of a surprise for some. Brock Burham 10-7-67 to Osborne 8-4-52, and Osborne 17s are out, which is unusual for them. They won't be playing any further role in the finals, Phil.
No, they played well. Osborne all year, been a consistent side, but Brock Burham on the day with just the better sideline. They played very well. And on the Saturday, Henty were far too strong for Howlong, so in they went. So, yeah, very good win to Henty. They're strong side in the 17, so they're going to take some beating. Well done to Brock Burham. It was a good win, very good win.
A lot of players on their score sheet too, with Joshua Quirk 3 and Chloe Hesse with a couple. Alexander O'Connell 4 for his side, and this was a big surprise. Well done to those boys, and for Henty, they would be very impressed with that win. 3 goals to Mackenzie McLean on the day, and Jordan Klemke, who is a good player and the star in that medal count. And the 14s, well, this is going to be a very interesting weekend because we found last weekend that Osborne went down to Howlong 8-6, so they go into the grand final. Howlong, Osborne losing with just the goal. Lockhart 11-10 to Culcan, no score. The preliminary final is between Lockhart and Osborne. Oh, she's on in the canola paddocks.
Don't worry about that, Wayne. A bit of no love lost here in the 14s. It starts early between those two teams, but Lockhart have been playing well. The boy O'Donoghue, he's kicked 18 goals in 2 weeks, so this is just unbelievable. I mean, 18 goals in 2 weeks is probably, half the under-14s combined score, but this boy's done it on his own bat, so they're playing very well. I just want to quickly mention something, Wayne, from earlier. So in the under-14s vote medal count, this is the young boy Noah Mayer from Culcan. There was a bit of a technical issue or just a paperwork issue on the evening. So there was 3 votes were incorrectly given on the night. So the wrong form was filled in on the day. and we've since rectified that. So Noah Mayer from Colcan is actually the joint winner in the under-14s of the medal. So, so that was a bit of an oversight. We've sorted all that out. So, congratulations to Noah. So he played very well in the losing side, but they're too strong locked up.
Oh, weren't they? And as you said, Donahue, with 9 goals out of his side's 11, this kid is an absolute out-and-out bottler. And they'll come up against Osborne. And I've actually tipped Lockhart to upset the might of the Tigers at Walbundary, neutral venue. They'll be all heading south from up there out of the Farrer North. And down to Walbundary they'll go. And there could be a massive crowd to start the day at about 9:30.
Big crowd. They like to get there early, Osborne, so they'll dig in for the day. So it'll be a good day, great day, good weather. But that's a great way to kick the day off between these two clubs. So it'll be a fascinating game. But on form, I think I'd have to favour Lockhart nearly.
All right, 17s is How Long taking on Brockburn for the right to play Henty in the grand final. I've just got a feeling on this that we might see How Long get up.
This is a very close game. This is very hard to tell. It's two very good sides, and it's great to see under-17s football. They move the ball well, good marking, great pressure. This would be a great game. Yeah, this is a toss of the coin, Wayne. I can't tip a draw because we've got to have 5 minutes each way. So we've got gold here, so I'll have to jump on. I just Brock Burham have been playing. They're sort of moving into finals. They played well, so I just think they might just sneak home.
And How Long in the reserves take on Holbrook? I'm just reckoning How Long are on a little roll at the moment.
2 weeks ago, How Long played very, very good football when they won their first elimination final, and they were very impressive. And so was Gindra, but they cleaned up Gindra last week, and that was a good game. Holbrook were just unlucky. They shouldn't have been in this final. They should have got through last week, but should have beaten Osborne. They just fell in a hole right in the last 5 minutes. Sometimes you see this happen, so I've just got a feeling How Long could motor on here.
Oh, tell you what, the big one, though, in the seniors grade. It starts at 2:15 at Walbundary. The crowd will be massive, and the green and gold play the Giants in the beautiful orange colour, and round Walbundary Waller on a roll. Can they upset another side above them? They've been doing it for the last 6 or 7 weeks. I just reckon that this is on. Holbrook really deserved the chance to have another clip at Osborne, but maybe the Giants could surprise.
Close game this. It's an interesting thing. So in finals, I've found over the years, you need a dominant forward. That's the sides who've got good forwards win. So I think Holbrook are going to be down guest here this week. I think he's got a sister's wedding or something like that he told them about early in the year. So that's a family thing. So that's they're happy with that. The fact he won't be there will make a difference here. So I just think if Warriors can play well, I know they've got a couple out as well, and Holbrook got a couple out. I just have a feeling Walbundary Waller could get up here. I'm
actually sliding that way too, would you believe? Because if Wardius has kicked 50 for the year, McKinley has kicked 55, so they're right up there with each other in terms of goals. But it seems that Wardius kicks some goals when they desperately need him to, and he stands up in the big matches. We'll see whether he does it. It's a huge day. Walbundary will be magnificent. It's dried right out too with the lack of rain in recent weeks, so it's going to be pretty good warm conditions for football, and I reckon that the running Rand might just outlast the big tall timber of Holbrook. It's a beauty of a day. It's a great day for netball too. Everyone's heading out there, including Phil Bouffler, who's pretty exhausted from Wednesday night giving out medals, and so we look forward to the results coming through, Phil.
It'll be a fascinating day, Wayne, and there's some great netball to be seen as well. Facilities are great out there in the netball courts. And they've just been some really good. I always go over and watch some of the netball, and they've been some close games. And this will continue on during this week. So good luck to everyone playing, and we'll see you at Walbundary tomorrow.
And we'll see you all at Henty. I'll be joining you, Phil, there. Lovely to be out and about the Henty field days, and that's why I had to tip Henty for the 17s. I've just got to put my tip in there very early in the piece, because that way they might give me a free pie and a Coke at the canteen that the Henty Footy Club operate.
That's the one. So I think lots of footy clubs. No, Colcan and Holbrook do a bit at the field days as well. Osborne do a little bit over there. So a lot of the Hume League clubs participate in Henty. So it's a big commitment. They've got finals, catering and things like that. Then they turn up and cater at Henty. So it's a big month, September, in the Riverina and in the Hume League. So Henty's a great time. I'm going to have my work cut out at Henty. I've got my son and his wife and my 2 grandkids coming up, and the young fellas, young Quinn's only 1.5, and he'll be off at racing, so I'm going to spend most of the day looking for him, I reckon.
I thought you'd be most of the day dreaming about one of those big, the sprayers, those huge-looking octopuses that have got the self-propelled spraying units. I thought you were up for one of those, Phil.
At this stage, Wayne, no, I don't think so. So I think I'm scratching that.
Scratching around for some more rain and for a self-propelled sprayer. Phil Bouffler, great to have you on board, and we'll catch up with you next week.
Good on you, Wayne. Looking forward to it. Thank you.